So I've been reading the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, which was written 2,500 years ago, and it is the basis for the practice of yoga. And it's not very long. The sutras are not long at all. And I'm gonna make a weekly video on each sutra, right? So starting with the first sutra in this video. The first sutra, the first verse of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali is: now the practice begins. Now the yoga begins. Now the concentration begins, depending on which translation you're looking at. Now the practice begins. And when I first read it, I shrugged it off and I moved on to the next sutras, right? I'm like, oh, whatever. You know, that's just what you do in the beginning of everything. But not so fast. Not so fast. I went back to it, and it's a very simple sutra. Now the practice begins. Now. Now. That's the first word in the sutras. Now. Now. Right here. Because you're always right here. And everything is always happening in the now. It's all happening now. Time is an illusion. So I think the first sutra of the Yoga Sutra is pretty significant. You know, it's very easy to shrug it off. I shrugged it off and I started reading the other ones. But I'm like, hold on. If that's the first thing that enlightened motherfucker wrote down, let me go back to it. And it's now. Now the practice begins. Now the yoga begins. Now the concentration begins. Because it's now. Everything is happening in the now. Everything is always right here, right now. It's all happening right now. Time is an illusion. It's an illusion. It's all like watching. It's like watching my video right now. If you go, so it's what? Minute 2:32, 2:33, 2:34, 2:35, 2:36, 2:37. But guess what? By the time this video is uploaded and you're watching it, wherever you go on the video, it's a now. You might think, oh, right, it's in the past. It's in minute 2 and 2 seconds. That's in the past. Well, guess what? You take the cursor right now, you take your mouse, your cursor, and you go back to minute 2 and 2 seconds. And it's a now. It's happening in the now. And you go to the end of the video, 5 seconds before it ends, where I have to rant about sleeping with the fishes. And you think it's in the future, but when you go there, it's now. It's all happening in the now. Such is the illusion of time. Now the practice begins. Now the yoga begins. Now the concentration begins. Because everything is here. And yoga is just being here. Right? Yoga means union. And union with the divine. Union with the oneness. Union with the all. It's just being here in the now. Because you can't fully be with the divine if you're not here. If you're in your mind, in your thoughts, which is the second sutra, which we'll talk about in another video. I want to keep these videos short. I don't want to rant down too long. But it's being here now that you can find the strongest connection to the source energy. Now the concentration begins. Now the yoga begins. Everything is in the now. Everything is here. And it's kind of like the case with the first verse in the Quran, right? First verse in the Quran is Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of God, the merciful, the benevolent. So don't shrug the first verse of these sacred texts off, because they mean a lot. Now the concentration begins. Now you go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Now, right now. Or you're gonna sleep with the fishes now. So subscribe now.